Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue our August special edition of two Chinese character and expression a day, and all of them are sharing the first character, which is sheng. It means plant growing in the soil, and that's our definition of life, how life looks as directly as plant, because we're agrarian society. So seeing that plant growing makes us happy, I guess. So that's the image picked as a depiction of life. And then we can see Google Translate has all kinds of meaning derived from this original meaning of life. And today we explore 生长. 生长 means grow. And Chinese make the concept of grow by pairing this get, this make life image, right, to 长, which means tall or long. So we show the concept of grow by showing you the end goal of grow, which is you're going to be longer or taller than the current you. And that's the definition of grow. Okay, so 生 again is about a life. And when it pairs with the goal, that means you start to aim for that goal to develop from your current state to the future state, which is 长. And as I discovered of the language of in big and small, in one episode in July, I talked especially about big and small. So big and small, it's universal in all language, right? But then I realized big and small is all in relative. Even if we speak it in absolute term, it is relative to something unsaid. It's an assumed comparison or benchmark. That benchmark is what we collectively, I guess as a culturally subconsciousness, regard as the norm, the standard. And when we say big or small, actually it means bigger or smaller than something that we all agree on. And probably it's not exactly agree on, but at least we have the general sense of direction. What's the norm? So it's here, the top, in the same thing. Tall or short is all in relative. That means taller than the current one. So that's the future, right? That's the expectation. That's where you're going. So we use that get taller to mean grow. That's a very logical two character combination to form the meaning of grow. Okay, 长 came from this, you see, it's pretty complicated visual, right? This is the, okay, let me slow down here. This is the contemporary simplified Chinese version. When I grew up, I learned this version. I didn't think much about it. I don't know what that means. I just repeat it 1,000 times. No, I'm exaggerating, probably 10 times. I was able to memorize it, but it doesn't make meaning to me. It's just a symbol, like every other Chinese character. I cannot speak to my other classmates, but I guess until I make this episode to try to share with the world what Chinese is, how it make meaning, then I force myself to look at characters, and then things start to click, start to connect the dots, start to make sense to me. And this 长 came from, you can see here, two-legged being. And when we have horizontal line, that means the top of the head. I mean, I kind of cut my head off, but actually it means the top of the head. And here means the hair of the head. This is a cute Chinese way. It's one of the many renderings. So you see this and this looks different because this is one kind of sanitized. It's almost like these are sanitized without the features or, their own characters, versus this and this Chinese characters kind of, somebody handwritten down these and made it into this very personalized shape. Each time it's written, it's not going to be the same, right? It's distinctively that person's style. And then probably they came from that era. It's distinctively from that era style versus this, like, it's digitized, it's sanitized. So this is also a sanitized in a history point of time, somebody, a scholar, summarized all the previous, like different versions of Chinese and come to this kind of standard by that time, standard. Now it's the ancient time relative to us, our time, right? And this is at one point, some individualized rendering of the hair of that person. And we can see, okay, these are the two legs, okay? And this signifies the top of the head or the top of that human. And this is the hair. And this is another rendering of that, except that this got a little bit bent knee. Still, these are two legs. The head indicator, this is something growing on top of the head. That's the hair. And it's interesting, right? Because just like we have the symbol for fur, it's growing horizontally. And we have the symbol for sheep, the sheep fur. Is it called a sheep fur? The hair of the fur? I mean, the hair of the sheep. Does it call fur? It is, right? It seems like a special term for it. But the lamb hair also grow horizontally. And you can see here, the human hair also go horizontally. I don't know why. Something special about Chinese, physical representation. No, this iconic, like symbolic representation of the physical world of hair is growing horizontally. I don't know why it doesn't make sense. You can see from the camera, my hair is dropping. It's gravity keeps pulling it down, right? So I don't know why language creators would do hair like that. I don't know. But okay, there you go. That's a tall. Why is tall? Is actually depicting hair growing long and wild. Long hair was the original meaning for this character. And then from that long hair, I guess from the hair length, people can gauge the tall or not, long or not. So this long hair eventually extended into long everything. You can use that as a dimension of the length. And of course, this chang can also mean temporal, not just spatial in length in one dimension. It can mean temporal as well, like take a long time. That's the same word. We can say 夜长梦多. That's a Chinese expression, 4-character Chinese classical expression that says, if the night is long, you're going to have many, many dreams, which is a Chinese indirect way to say, when you give it more time, things out of control can happen. You don't know what's going to happen. So if you want to do something, better make it quick so that you prevent the random event happening that twist your plot. Okay, so that's chang. I'm just using that example to show you the chang can be used in spatial or temporal sense as well. Actually, Chinese switch such sense of application of things, the same character using different scope in different domains, but it makes this essential sense to us. That means, from long hair, it's something long, right? It could be a long time, just like in English, long time. Long can be distance as well as time. Okay, so that's 生长, Chinese way to say grow. I just like this tropical picture, and that shows this vividly things are growing. All right, catching the attention of thinking about one word a day with Sophie. See you another time.